Derby County are coming into their most toughest period of the season, and it's not because the opposition are difficult and running away with the division. It's because they're facing teams that are going to be in and around them until the end of the season. For that mid-table to relegation scrap, the next games that we have are against all of those teams who are predicted to be within that fight, and it's important that Derby County collect some points on the road and at home over the course of this next 4-week period up until the next international break, which starts on the 9th of November. Now, obviously, a lot of you will already know Derby County's fixtures heading into this next period, but if you don't, we face up against Millwall this weekend. We travel there. Then we travel to Oxford on Tuesday the 22nd, which is going to be a very, very interesting game for the two newly promoted sides. It's the first time Derby County have faced a newly promoted side this season. Obviously, Derby County one of the three. Oxford is the first one up. That's on Tuesday. We then face Hull City at home on the 26th before travelling to Stoke on the 7th of November. And then we face up against Coventry on the Wednesday. That's the 6th of November before coming back home to face up against Wayne Rooney and Plymouth Argyle. Now, obviously, those teams are well within sort of our scrap within that mid-table at the moment, and a big point of this upcoming set of fixtures is 4 of them are on the road. So obviously, as you know, Derby County's road fixtures haven't been very good so far this season. Lost every single competitive game on the road, and it's about time that Derby County pick up their form away from home. Now, shall we take a look at the league table and where all these teams sit before we get into talking about each fixture? If you have not done so already, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below, turn on that notification bell to stay tuned for all of my latest Derby County and EFL content which is coming to the channel. As you can see in the top corner, we've set a sub goal of 1,500 for New Year. It's going to be very interesting to see if we can hit that number. The support on the channel over the last year has been absolutely tremendous. Really appreciate all your support. Obviously, the content we bring to the channel, previews, reviews, matchday vlogs, the latest Derby County news. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the like button as well. Let me know your thoughts on this period of games in the comments. How many points do you think Derby County should accumulate? If you haven't seen already in the video, I think we should get 9 across the course of the next 6 games. How that happens, I don't know. Will it be possible? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. I'll let you get back to the video. So then, over the course of the next few weeks, we face up against Oxford in just under a week's time on Tuesday. They currently sit in 10th place. They face West Brom this weekend, which is going to be a very, very difficult task. Obviously, this weekend, we face up against Millwall. They currently sit in 18th place, just 3 points behind Derby County. We face Plymouth Argyle just before the international break. We've got Stoke in a couple of weeks' time. I think we play Coventry as well as Hull City, who currently sit level on points with us. Now, if we do go to those fixtures, you can obviously see them all here. It's going to be a very, very interesting run. Obviously, Derby County's away form over the course of the start of this season has been absolutely horrific, but some good news for Derby County is we do have the return of Callum Elder, who's getting back to full fitness. We also have the return of Ben Osborne, David Ozo, Jake Rooney and Liam Thompson over the course of the next few weeks. Tom Barkhazen is also back in training. Now, Tawanda Chiwa, I think, is probably going to be out for this stretch of fixtures up until the next international break. I believe Paul Warren said 4 to 8 weeks at the end of the previous game, which means that he's going to be out until probably the first game back, maybe, versus I think it's Preston North End on the 23rd of November. So it's going to be very disappointing not to see him. He might not even be back for that one. Now, obviously, when we look at the league table, Derby County currently residing in 12th position. Obviously, a win could take us as high as 7th. A loss could obviously drop us as low as 19th should scorelines go the way of other teams. So it's one of those for me where heading into this set of fixtures, I think the likes of Millwall, we've already previewed this game. It's going to be a very, very important game for Derby County to try and pick up some points on the road. Obviously, Caden Jackson's done really well this season, but I think he just needs a little bit more. And obviously, both teams have their injury problems heading into this one. You obviously look then at the Oxford game. I think they've done really well to start off this championship campaign, but they've got injury worries of themselves. We'll give it all full previews before each game anyway, but I just think that there's a big magnitude for these fixtures, and it's absolutely massive, especially the home games, that we come away with something. In my opinion, over the course of these next I think, is it 6 games until the international break? You've obviously got Millwall, Oxford, Hull, Stoke, Coventry and Plymouth. That's 6 games. That gives you, 18 points available. I think Derby should be coming away with 9. I think if we come away with 9 points from these 6 games, I think I'll be very happy. Obviously, without playing the games, I can't say whether that's what we deserved at the end. But obviously, you go through these the fixtures of the month before. Obviously, the Derby versus QPR game, we deserved a victory. Sunderland, I don't think we deserved anything out of it. Norwich, I think we deserved a point at minimum. You then go back to Sheffield United, I think we deserved something out of that. And Cardiff, we certainly deserved to win that one. So it's one of those for me where looking through these fixtures, there's obviously a lot to talk about when it comes to Derby County. Obviously, Hull City on some excellent form right now. But when you talk about like the players that we have available to us and things like that, I think it's really important that we make the most of what we have. You look at, obviously, this is what we've got 6 games in, 20 days? I don't even think it's 20 days, to be honest with you. We're on the 18th now. We play on the 19th. So 19th to the 9th, it's probably 20 days tops so we've got to utilise our squad. And I think in this period of fixtures, I think we're going to see Craig Forsyth and Callum Elder switch over. I think the likes of Ryan Niambi and Kane Wilson will swap around. Nat Phillips will probably get some minutes, maybe even Joe Ward too. You look in the midfield, and that's a big topic of conversation for me heading into this game. I've got a video that I think will have dropped this morning. It might drop after this one, about David Ozo's return to the side and what he can bring, and how that changes the look of the midfield. You look in the forward line, we're going to have to utilise the likes of Dejan Brown and James Collins and Corey Blackett-Taylor, Tom Barkes. And now I think Corey Blackett-Taylor is like itching for a start. I think he deserves a start. He's come off the bench, he's played 49 minutes, scored versus Norwich, looked really good against QPR for that short period he was off the bench, looked, in my opinion, quite good against Sunderland as well when he got on the ball, and I think he's absolutely crying out for a start. Now, obviously, I don't think we've seen the best of Tawanda Chiwa yet. Obviously started that game versus Sunderland, wasn't his best performance. Now, a player who I want to see get some minutes over the course of the next 20, 30 days is Dejan Brown. I think we've kept him from going out on loan and getting that experience at a League 2 club or a League 1 club, and I think that in the long run it may be a little bit detrimental. I think if we have an injury to Jerry Yates, yes, James Collins probably would then be the starter, but then you're lacking movement in that forward line. And what I think Dej brings is a little bit more energy, a little bit more movement, a little bit more mobility as well than that of James Collins. Connor Washington, I've got no idea what the plan is with him. Obviously, he's not played since last season. He made 22 appearances and scored 3 goals and spent pretty much the second half of the season injured after an injury during international duty. I think the wide 4 are going to have a massive role to play over the next few weeks, because they're going to have to rotate with the Saturday, Tuesday or Saturday, Wednesday games. And you look at the likes of Marcus Harness, who obviously came in and played that number 10 role in the previous game, and I think that's going to be a big discussion over the next few weeks. You look at obviously these fixtures, you look at, if we go and look at Millwall's last 11, it's a 4-2-3-1. So will we go with a sitter and 2 8s, or will we match them up? You look at Hull City, if we just go to Hull City, we'll go Oxford first. They play a sitter and 2 8s, which is obviously something that we can sort of move about with the players that we have available. It's a common formation in this league, that 4-3-3, with either a sitter or a 10. And I think that's a big thing for Derby County to look into heading into these games, is how we best utilise the players we've got. If David Ozo is back and is back fit, I think it's absolutely massive that we utilise him to the best of his ability and get him back in the team as quickly as possible. You obviously look at Coventry City, another 4-2-3-1. Now, yes, there's a lot of rotation of formations and positions nowadays when you look at teams. Wayne Rooney is obviously playing that 4-2-3-1, similar to what he played with us, and I think this game is going to be absolutely massive at Pride Park. I'm really intrigued to see the reception that Wayne Rooney gets, because obviously some people blame him for the Chris Kirshner situation and things like that. Some people don't. For me, I don't blame him at all. It wasn't his fault that Kirshner was a fraud. But obviously the away form table is where it all counts. Derby County sitting rock bottom, 4 losses from 4. You've obviously got the Barrow defeat in there as well. So there's a big discussion heading into this period of fixtures of, can Derby County collect 3 points on the road? Because we could end up, I think 9 points would be good, which would be 2 wins at home and a win away. Or a win at home, a win away, and 3 draws. So, like, the possibilities are endless. It's going to be really interesting. I will be back tomorrow with a post-match review from the Millwall game. Unfortunately, not able to get to that one. It's going to be a very, very interesting one. Derby County probably setting up in a 4-3-3 system heading into this one. We've seen it a lot over the course of the last few weeks. We've obviously seen the 3-5-2 and 3-4-3 versus Sunderland. So it's going to be interesting to see how Paul Warren plays it out. But it's one of those for me where I certainly think that we have an opportunity now to push on in the division. And obviously, if we pick up 9 points, that puts us on 21. That puts us, in my opinion, 29 points away from safety with practically 30 games of the season left to go. And I think that is massive. If we can do that, I'll be absolutely amazed. It would be a really good period for us. So obviously, let me know your thoughts down in the comments, because it is going to be a very, very interesting set of fixtures. Now, obviously, we've spoke about the games in brief detail. We will be previewing every single game on this channel. We'll obviously have match reviews, match vlogs from the games as well. So make sure you check them out. I'm thinking about doing some live streams as well on the channel. Let me know your thoughts on that down in the comments if that's something you'd be interested in, because obviously if no one's interested, I'm not going to bother, sort of thing. So it's one of those where let me know your thoughts down below. Let me know what times would be best for you as well. I did put out a poll a couple of weeks ago. I was supposed to do some streams this week, but I just haven't had the time. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Hit that subscribe button and I'll catch you in my next video.